West Coast vibes, yeah, we just beginning. Mic check, drop gems, no pretending. It's the pod where the real keeps spinning. Born in the land where the palm trees flourish.
Right. What all prisons did you go to? I know we all know about Ferguson for you being on the Ferguson Chronicles, but let them know all the prisons that you went to. You know what I mean?
Okay, when I was 19, um, they sent me to Cofield unit. That's like one of the biggest. That and our red units, like kind of, I think the biggest, if I'm not mistaken. I went down there when I was 19. By the time I turned 21, I think,
Mm-hmm.
or finna be 21, I got G5. Uh, and they sent me to Gib Lewis unit.
Right.
You know, so I went over there. I was G5, which is like a some type of disciplinary thing where they keep you locked up like 23 hours, 22 hours a day type thing. So we had like a little situation on the Rick Yard over there on January the 13th, 2008. They called it a ride. It really was like a little 3-on-3, 3 Crips and 3 Bloods. You know, we squabbled out there. The Laws got involved, shot their gas, and they say I had started it. And they sigged my ass January 28th, 2008. And I ended up going home from SIG in 2008. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, I got out, went straight back home, straight back to the streets, same hood, and within 18 days, I was back locked up. They gave me 28 more years. You know what I'm saying? At this time, see, the feds had came to Fort Worth in 2007.
Hey, is that not to break you up? Was that I heard a story about like the fishbowl, like the fishbowl indictment out there, and
I'm not sure. Yeah, see, that was another situation. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Really, what year that was? I think I'm not even sure, man. But I know in 2007 the feds came down there and they tried to file a lawsuit on Folk Trade Gangsta Crips as an organization and start setting up gang injunctions to where like you can't walk together 2 or 3 deep. You go to jail for up to a year. They was come hitting the parks where we used to have our trade days at. You know what I'm saying? So this was in 2007. I got out in 2008 in the midst when it was still kind of tense. So they was trying to make an example out of everything. You know what I'm saying? And I had caught that case. It just so happens I went to these individuals' house, you know what I'm saying, when the dude wasn't home, you know what I'm saying? But they let me in. I was gonna hit the dude. So shit, when he wasn't home, like I said, I was confused, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know these people. They told me to come in and lock the door. Shit, I came in and asked for the dude. They say he wasn't there.
Dang.
So they told me when they say he wasn't there, I'm like, shit, what y'all let me here for then? They're like, man, we thought you want some weed. So it was a weed house.
Damn.
So I ended up drawing down on, you know what I'm saying, told everybody to get on the floor. And really I went in there bare face. So I really wasn't trying to do no dry run. And me being from the streets, man, I'm thinking like it's a weed house. Like them niggas can't call laws on me, you know what I'm saying? So I told him my name before I left. I said, man, when nigga get home, tell the folks that Jose came by. I'm gonna be on Hattie Street waiting on the nigga.
Man.
And shit, that nigga baby mama called the police, told the laws what I said, but lied and say I took some money from him. You know what I'm saying? So like the next morning, the gang unit, they knew where I hung out at over there at the head of the store. Shit, they jumped out on me early in the morning when I went to the store. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, it was in the midst of that, them trying to make an example with the little folk trade thing they had going on. You know what I'm saying? The feds and shit. So they knew it was bullshit.
Basically, you was the perfect candidate for that, right?
That situation. They gave me 28 years, and then me going to the county jail and tripping and assaulting the laws and shit like it didn't make it no better for my situation. They kept skipping my court date. I ain't go to court for like about 8 months. You know what I'm saying? You know, they had something called a red suit. It's where you got a red jump on. You supposed to have it on for 60 days. I was in that bitch 9 months. You know what I'm saying? So they just kept skipping my court date, and by the time I know it, 18 months later, shit, my attorney pulled up talking about they want to go to trial. We're going to trial next week.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So what it was, I guess one of them people that caught a case and they worked the deal out with the city, you know what I'm saying, to testify on me. You know what I'm saying? I went down there and man, it was about at least by like 4 people testified on me. The gang unit from Fort Worth, you know what I'm saying, testified on me. And when they asked me to take the stand, I told them I wish to remain silent. I wouldn't take the stand. So they found me guilty in like 2 hours. Gave me 28 years. You know what I'm saying? So me going back to prison, that's when I ended up on Ferguson. You know what I'm saying? I ended up on Ferguson, did 7 years over there. Went to Beto unit for 4 months, got saved again. That's when I started kind of getting moved around. Like, stayed in SIG, Red for a year. Hughes unit SIG for a year. Got out, got shipped to Smith, got saved again in 2021. Back to Red, and they released me on that unit. You know what I'm saying? I just started working my way. By the time I knew it, back then I wasn't thinking about going to the house. You know what I'm saying? They talking about pull 14 years before you see parole. Shit, I couldn't even see that far.
Yeah, that was a long ways away.
I ain't give a damn. Like, however I woke up that morning, this type of day we was gonna have. You know what I'm saying? But by the time I looked up, going to SIG and getting out of it, I realized that 14-year mark was up. So that's when I was like, damn, I can go home at any time now. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I started trying to push different. You know what I'm saying? Trying to move different.
That was gonna be my next question. All right, hold on. One thing I wanted to know was like 80s, the Crips and the Bloods. The Crips outnumbered the Bloods like 11-2 or something like that. Was it the same thing like that out there in Texas?
No, not really.
So it was
not really.
even.
I mean, it was a lot of Crips, but I remember it being a lot of Bloods too at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? To where, yeah, I remember it was just packed, man. It was like on Ferguson especially. It was always like a tense situation. You know what I'm saying? It was more like a gangbang unit to me. Like I say, me leaving Ferguson, I kept getting saved for shit that I wouldn't even got in trouble for on Ferguson. So it took for me to try to adjust. Cause I started realizing like, damn, they just gonna put my head right back behind the door 2 years at a time. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't the same. And for you to try to make it like that, they just gonna put your head behind the door. They got some motherfuckers been back there 8 years, 18 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at motherfuckers dying back there. Like, so shit. My common sense told me like, shit, well, you want to be behind the door? Like, some niggas behind the door because they have problems with population. So they ain't tripping about that being behind the door. They get to be peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Me, shit, I ain't had no problem with population. I was trying to go back, walk around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shit. Yeah. I had to like just kind of set my mind to just kind of being quiet back there, working out, and just talking to very select people. You know what I'm saying? Because you never really know who behind that door, man. You know, some of them dudes they'll tell you anything. But if you don't just know them or know who they link to, you really not sure. You know what I'm saying? So it's best to just kind of set you some goals, some plans, and move like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you're gonna win. That's the only way you're gonna advance about that type of situation.
Right.
Shit, like I say, man, it just end up working for the better. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm out here now. You know, it's a lot of people. They probably thought I wasn't even gonna go to the house how I used to act. You know what I'm saying? But shit, it all worked hand in hand, man. Like I say, I really don't regret shit. I learned from all this shit.
Winning, West Coast vibes, yeah, we just beginning. Mic check, drop gems, no pretending. It's the pod where the real keeps spinning.